All right, great. Like we told you, we have agronomists here with us in studio, and we have the farmers as well. So any questions that you have, this is your moment to do that. Again, the text number is 22422. On Twitter, the hashtag is BusinessNow. That's the hashtag we're using to track your feedback, your questions, and your comments. Many people going into farming and agribusiness, but what do you need to know? Let me start off with my first guest right here. Dr. Thank you very much for joining us. Dr. Pascal Kaumbuto is the Chair and Managing Director of Agrimec Africa Limited. All right, and like we said, yes, I need to remind you as well, we have our WhatsApp line and you can send us your videos on that as well. Remember to keep it short, about a minute long. Thank you very much for that. Dr. welcome to Business Now. We thank you for making the time for us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Good. So, I mean, let's talk about, we've talked about, some of the key things that you need to know in the agribusiness sector, how it functions in the country and in the region. But off the top of your head, what are some of the things that you see Kenyans doing that perhaps you're thinking, oh no, when we're going into agribusiness?
Very interesting subject. Yeah, agriculture contributing only, less than 30% of GDP. Yeah. Yet we have so many farmers in the country. That number alone tells you there's something wrong. Okay. Of course, everybody sees the opportunity. We know we need 50%, 70% more food in the next 10 to 15 years. Where would that food come from? So people see the opportunity. When you hear that the price of tomatoes has gone from 400 to 4,000, yeah, you jump in.
Right.
Of course, this is business. And then, of course, you plant the tomatoes. And then you are using your cousin to run the farm. There's no irrigation water. Maybe you have irrigation water, but the pumping is so expensive. Right. You jump into it with a lot of, unpreparedness. If I was to summarize it in 3 key words: start farming, be committed, be present, see how you can produce volumes of good quality, yeah, and sustainably so. Then the market will look for you. You don't even have to look for the market. Well,
maybe some would say that that is also an issue, the market, that perhaps people don't do their homework as to, like you said, tomatoes are, maybe they jump in price tenfold, and then, I can go into tomatoes. And then we all come in and find that the market is saturated. Many will remember the quail craze. That was one of those. People hear quail is the next thing. So talk to us about that, understanding the value chain, right? From farm to fork, or from farm to market, if you like.
Yes. The biggest problem is we tend to be absentee farmers. We don't really have time even to understand the value chain. A lot of us are people already in another business. Yvonne is working, as a TV personality. She also wants to farm because the father left her some land, which she has been putting under, and she left it for the brother, for the cousin. Yeah. It's failing. So understanding the whole chain, how you are going to produce, how you are going to first of all test the soil, first of all find out which crop to grow for that environment, how you are going to grow it, what kind of agronomic needs it has. Water needs, soil needs, climate, we should say, needs, and climate is changing. And then also, maybe in a nutshell, begin with the market. Go do a good survey of the market. I'm talking as somebody who has been, has done it all. I've been in research, I've been an academic, I've been an NGO leader. I've been a true farmer with a market chain where I'm actually marketing produce in the market with trucks and employees and all that, value addition and all. So I can relate to the anxiety that one sees, in terms of seeing the opportunity, but jumping in before you really understand all the intricacies.
Absolutely. And you've mentioned something that perhaps Kevin can speak about, which is absentee farmers or telephone farmers, as I understand they're called. Unapiga huko unauliza, mumeleta fertilizer, mumeweka bag ngapi, na leo ng'ombe ametoa maziwa, lita ngapi? What's your experience, Kevin, with that? Because Atukalime manages your farm managers and sort of assist with that. And like Daktari said, many people are farming sort of as a side hustle. So talk to us about managing, you know, a farm. So,
you know, we are trying to change that notion that it's a side hustle. Okay. It should be the main hustle, because if you do not put in you know, the work and the talent that's needed in farming, then you will not get what you're supposed to get. So in terms of farm management, actually what we do is follow the protocols that we need to follow to get to the end of the byproduct that you need.
And what are those protocols?
So for example, like what Daktari said, you know, it's straight on. You know, you have to do your soil analysis, you know. You need to know what fertilizer you need to put in there, right? What are the deficiencies in terms of nutrients? Then from there, if it's onions, for example, or potatoes, there's a protocol. For potatoes, if you're doing the seeds, you need to buy certified seeds. Are you buying them from a KEFI certified dealer, right? Are you planting 30 centimeters spacing, you know? Are you doing the nutrition well, the irrigation well? If you follow those protocols week by week, for sure you'll end up with a good crop. Okay. Now, what has happened is a lot of people end up cutting the corners. If you're supposed to put 4 bags of fertilizer, you put 2. If you're supposed to buy certified seeds, you say, no, no, no. I have these seeds that came out from my, my last crop, I shall replant them. So what happens is the attributes of that product that you're supposed to get is lower. So if you're supposed to get a good potato, you'll probably get a smaller potato. So as farm managers, we make sure that those protocols are followed to the T to ensure that you get, you know, the right produce, the right quality aspects, and at the end of it all, we actually market your produce, so to make sure that you can get the market.
All right, let's talk about funding for a moment, and we'll get to our turkey farmer in just a moment. But funding is key. Like you say, it shouldn't be a side hustle. There might be some who'll do it, and you say, you know, I got some little money here. I've gotten money from Asako because, you know, I want to go to Oloitoktok and farm some onions. Can we take a loan to get into, you know, agriculture? Daktari, what's your thought on that?
You can take a loan, but based on a plan that you have, a sellable plan to a bank. A bank will want to know what market you have. A bank will want to know some history, you know, in your bank statement and so on. Loans are available. For
a startup, though, because it seems to me like farming is like subjected to so many variables, key among them being, you know, like you said, water, like nutrient, all of these things that you learn on the farm, and like rain. I mean, you know, farmers are constantly checking the weather updates. Is this one of those things that you would say as a start to go in and take a loan?
Don't.
Okay.
In fact, banks may not give you if you're a startup. Banks don't seem to like agribusiness. They don't seem to trust agribusiness. We always have to have some fund which has been brought in by IFC, by World Bank, by who, you know, which is given to a bank to help poor farmers and all that. To be honest, there's a lot we can do better in that, by government guaranteeing farmers and all manner of opportunities that have gone lacking over time. But yes, financing is there. When you have a good business plan, some history, if you don't have the history yourself, try and partner with somebody else who has the history, who knows the market better. And that way, you know, piggyback on that other person's success, and then you'll be able to access some money.
Okay, let's speak to, you know, real farmers out there. And our Dennis Otieno is out here in Nairobi with a turkey farmer. Now, of course, he's speaking to one Francisco Mwenda, who decided to venture into farming. Didn't know he would find gold in keeping turkey. He's now